All right, all right, all right. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. I hope everyone had a wonderful and great holiday. But we are back here with another episode of Honest Hour. This is episode 53. 53 of season one. We got one episode left. One episode left before and that's it. Then the finale. But my guest tonight is a local artist, model, rapper, entrepreneur in her own right. So much more. So smart, so uplifting, so spirit. Miss Veve C. How are you tonight?
I'm good. How are you? Happy holidays.
Happy holidays. I'm okay. I'm okay. We're maintaining here, doing the best we can with what we got. And
Amen.
that's all we can do.
Right.
It's been this interview's been a long time. You know, as I first met you during Mavor Week
Oh my goodness.
last year.
The M4 because that event was amazing. I had so much fun. I had so much fun. I was like, whoa. Wow.
I asked you to come on this podcast. You said you would do it, and here we are, a year and a half later.
But we here.
We here, and I've absolutely enjoyed watching everything that you do,
Thank
and of course, and just watching the growth and in all fashions and forms. Now, we're not going to get to everything that you do tonight, but if we can scratch the surface, get to the song that got released, upcoming performances, and some background, because next year in person interviews are coming.
Oh,
So,
and we got that. We gotta lock that in ASAP because
yes,
we gotta do that.
yes, in person interviews are coming. They're in the works. I just have to work the kinks out, but they're coming as soon as February. So,
Yes. I can't wait.
oh, bro, absolutely. I appreciate you.
Of course, same here, same here. We rapping the 845 is the only way. Let's go.
You know, now, even though you rep the 845, that's not originally where you were born.
Yeah. No.
So you're from New Jersey.
Well, we call it Jersey.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, North Jersey. I don't know what South Jersey do, but North Jersey, we just call it Jersey. I rep. Yeah, well, I'm not gonna say I rep, but my family grew up and we were born. Well, I was born in Englewood, New Jersey, but my family grew up in Teaneck, like Hackensack, Englewood area. We pretty much grew up around, but Teaneck was like the staple because it was where my grandparents lived. Shout out to my whole family. We're really tight knitted when it comes to family. So anytime I think of, because I know there's different versions of people saying where you grew up from, and I get it. Like if you're talking in terms of school or how long you've lived somewhere, then I would say I'm from, well, New Windsor is technically the town I live in now, and I've lived here for over 20 years. But if we're talking in terms of childhood and where my roots came from, and as far as like the major impact of my growth into adulthood, definitely Jersey. Like literally everything I remember, everything I've done, everything that I've been culturalized in has been in Jersey. But of course I did grow up literally in this very house I'm in New Windsor. So, and which is like only a couple minutes away from Newburgh. So when I say 845, I'm including New Windsor and Newburgh as one. It's just that a lot of people don't know our area like that. So unless you're either from the area or you travel a lot, I have to say 845 because a lot of people think New York, they're immediately thinking New York City. They're thinking Manhattan, they're thinking Bronx, they're thinking Brooklyn. You say, oh, anything above that to them is upstate, but we're really downstate. It's just,
Yeah.
we got our own lingo and all that. So that's
It,
pretty much why I say that.
it's upstate from the city, but to us, it's downstate because it's close to the city.
Exactly. Exactly. I be trying to explain people that. I get it. I get it. Like I said, if you grew up in the city, you're not going to see it from the viewpoint of how I see it unless you travel. So, that's pretty much, why I say 845 because it's a proud thing. Like, we've been on the map, but I think it's now more than ever that the 845 is really getting a lot of credit. It's getting a lot of noise, and I'm noticing a lot more individuals outside of myself that are getting the recognition that they deserve. So, I'm very proud of my city. I'm really proud of the area, and even outside areas like Poughkeepsie, Middletown, and et cetera, et cetera. Yeah, we're doing our thing. So, I can't just say Jersey, and I can't just say 845. So I always say the 201, the 845, and yeah.
Well, the 845 does include anywhere with 845 as an area code. Your Monroe, your Poughkeepsie, your Rockland. And, that's why, like me, I've joined, and as you know, we've discussed, I've joined or become a part owner of an entertainment company called All Right Entertainment. And and I haven't even announced this, so I'm just going to say it.
We're getting exclusive.
We just got we just asked them to do a show in Newburgh and in Middletown.
Oh, sure. Okay.
And I told the guy that I work with, I said, that's mine. It's mine.
Yes.
It's mine. And then, so now I just got to work the kinks. I want an 845 DJ. I want an 845 host. I want every 845 artist because it's supposed to be a showcase. Nah, this is about to be a concert. Like, I want anyone who's everyone. The details are so easy. It's the artists pay no money and get paid for ticket sales.
Okay. Like
I
that.
mean,
because I'm about to, I know people got to make their money, but I'm so tired of these showcases where you got to pay the certain fee to get in. And I get it. That's your starting point. And, I've done it, so I could talk.
Right.
But got to elevate.
This here, you just have to sell your tickets. If you said, I had a guy, I don't know if you know him, his name's Crackerjack or CJDK is what he goes by now. He's literally like this big. He's just like a little 5-foot rapper, a white dude with long curly hair. You would think he's like the whitest dude. And then when he starts rapping, you're like, that came out of you?
Right.
But so for the last show we did, he sold the most tickets and became the headliner.
Oh, nice. Oh, wow.
So like now I'm in a position where it's kind of like, all right, well, we gotta do something here. We gotta make this grow. And I want to just see our area get bigger and bigger and bigger. And this is the way I felt that I could do it, giving artists a space to have what you call it? Just to have.
Yeah.
To have and grow and get recognition, and because now you see me pop out at Showtime's event. You ain't know you was like someone from Newburgh's here.
I was so happy because I was like, I'm not used to going to the city and people actually knowing Newburgh. So I'm seeing it more now, but like when I saw you, I was like, oh shit. I was like, oh, excuse my language. I was like, oh shoot. I was like, Mike, what the heck? And I couldn't even I was like, okay, I gotta stay in character, but hold on, I need to see this afterwards. I was like, I'm gonna find you. I was like, oh wow. See, that's what I'm saying. Like fate in this industry is so, it's like it feels huge, but it's so small. And I'm just so grateful to be able to, network with people like you and really come together and do something big. And, now being on this podcast and, eventually I'm sure other shows and events that we'll be doing together. I'm down for it.
Absolutely. Once those details roll in for that show, it's going to be heavy promotion. And pretty much any artist who's in the 845, I'm not taking no for an answer. So I'm just coming in like, listen, you're going to do it. Other people, you're going to sell your tickets. We're going to get it done and we're going to have a good time. And then we're going to show up and show out. Like it's even like I'm already being like, Veg, let's go.
Right.
Media, let's go. Let's get it.
Oh man, I'm all in.
Absolutely. So growing up, when you came to the event with the Mavor event, I forget what they called it, the artist showcase or was it or artist spotlight? There we go.
Spotlight. I think it was like
That's
spotlight.
what it was. You came with your younger brother, who's a dope videographer, and your father. Now, and I know I'm going to mess up these details, but I was watching an interview with you, with someone, can't remember who, but I remember you saying your mother passed away a few years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what was your family like for you growing up, and and the relationship between you and your family?
So if I, because it's a pretty, there's a short answer and then there's a long answer. So the short answer is, I mean, like I said earlier, my family is very tight knitted. But if I were to be more specific, my dad's side of family is my family. Like and not to exclude anyone on my mom's side, because of course I do have family members on my mom's side that I talk to closely as well. But it's a little bit more complicated to break down my mom's side, because unfortunately I didn't get that opportunity to really get as closely connected to my mom's side, with like a few family member exceptions, as I did with my dad's side from both parents, meaning I guess what they call it, paternal mother and paternal father. So my grandma Pauline and my grandfather Willie, both of course rest in peace. On my dad's side, like when I hear other people talk about their childhoods and how they had to deal with different traumas and things like that, I empathize with them on their situations. But I have to honestly say my childhood was lit. Like, I don't even know how to explain it. Okay, let me put it into perspective. So for those who are from the Bronx, I'm gonna put it in comparison. Jersey is like, well, was like the countryside version of the Bronx, and the Bronx, it was like the city version of Jersey. So the reason why I say that is because, well, at least my part. I don't know about all of Jersey, but at least like the Teaneck, Hackensack, Inglewood, like I'm talking about those areas. Like everyone was family with everyone down the block. I can't say that now. With today's generation, with everything going on, this world's crazy. Is always something going on. But back then, it was so different. Like literally, my grandparents' neighbors were like my aunts and my uncles. The kids down the block were literally like my best friends, or like I view them as my cousins. We would literally play kickball in the front yard. I didn't even know what a phone was until I was 11. And even then, so I only used it if I needed to use it for like emergency purposes. But for the most part, the way I grew up was like, for me, it was like a traditional childhood. It was like I was able to go in the playground. My grandmother and my auntie Regina, shout out to Auntie Regina, shout out to, my whole family. But I remembered certain days that they would take me to the park. We'll get certain snacks. I mean, like special snacks, like the Jamaican shrimp. I forgot what that purple drink is called, but the Jamaicans know what I'm talking about. But the purple drink, you know what that purple drink was?
I know what you're talking about, but I don't know what it's called.
I think it starts with an S. It starts with an S, and I blinked out. But whatever it's called, I remember my aunt put me onto that, and ever since then, I was hooked on Jamaican food, and it was just an experience. Like my dad's side of the family of things, from both my grandmother Pauline's and my grandfather Willie's side, we were like very tight knitted. Now my mom, well, explaining about my mom, her childhood was a bit complicated, to say the least, because for one, her mother was taken away at such a young age. She was only barely 7 when and her name was Mary. Well, her first name was Mary, her middle name was Ann, which is Ann. My middle name is Mary Ann, so they decided to combine her first name and middle name to my middle name. Yeah, my middle name, but they added the E for my middle name, which would then make it Mary Ann. And her last name, her maiden last name was Williams. And because I felt like, because my mother's mother was taken away. When I say taken away, I mean that, taken away, and it was still an unsolved case as far as who did it. And I felt like that robbed her childhood. And she was, because she had one younger sister, full-blooded sister, and then she has one half brother who's still alive, because her and her younger sister are now gone, but she has a half brother who's still alive that shares the same father, different mother. I
Okay.
don't necessarily call them my grandparents, because we just did not have that connection to bond in that sense. But I still have enough respect to, at least acknowledge their impact on my mom's life. But my mom growing up was a little tough, because for one, she was like the black sheep. She was
Mm.
into like your reading, kind of more on the inclusive side of things, I guess you would call it. Uh what the heck is the word when you're when you're wow, why am I blinking out words all of a sudden? Like when you're so extroverted. Okay, so she's like the introverted side of things,
Okay.
very much so excluded from the world, but like she was still a personable person, like very friendly, probably one of the most friendliest people you ever come across. That's probably where I got that side from. And I think my joy from my childhood kind of like brought joy to her, but then I kind of felt bad knowing my mom's past and how it impacted her in her later years. So, me and my mom, we definitely had a special bond with each other. Of course, we had our ups and downs. We're both female. So, of course, females are going to, especially me as a teenager, preteen, we're going to have you know, our ups and downs and lefts and rights. But in all, she was definitely my best friend. My dad's my best friend. My brothers, my whole family are like, we're, like I said, we're tight knitted. Like, I'm
Absolutely.
very fortunate to have the family I have and to be able to say that, because I know a lot of people don't have that same type of background that I do. And I think that's why I'm able to love so easily and why I'm able to give such a charismatic personality to everyone authentically and genuinely. And I don't need to force anything, because in the household I grew up, we grew up honestly, but we grew up loving people.
Yes.
We didn't judge anyone, whoever came in, as long as they were respectful, as long as they didn't harm anybody, they weren't doing anything malicious or anything like that. We accepted people for who they were. So it was easy for me to just say, like, see you for who you were, and just be me. And if you don't like me, then go. But that's pretty much how I grew up. I mean, we I could write a whole book, and like this whole interview, if I were to really break down the family dynamics, we'd be here the whole night. But we'd be here the whole night. Oh, get me into the part two. You guys would be like, what?
You're like, whoa, wait a minute, we getting too deep now. Like,
Hold on, Vanessa. We might have to pause and do a commercial break, because this is crazy.
we're gonna have to have an intermission here.
Right. At this point, that's what it's starting to sound like, because I was like, hold on, I might have to pause.
Wait a minute.
Right. Hold up. But yeah, that's pretty much how I would explain my family. We're definitely close, definitely like this. Yeah.
Okay. So growing up, what were some of your interests and hobbies that you did?
I was always a creative kid. I found myself, I mean, honestly, anything that I could create, but I found like based off the tapes I found of myself anyways, and all my old records, I always loved songwriting. That was one thing I felt like since I was a kid, like as young as 5. I was always either writing something or recording something. My dad is a DJ, so he had the system, like, I mean, even like the vinyl days of things, not just like today's electronic cables, but like the vinyl days. He would have like this recording set where I'll use the cassette tape recorder thing, and just I don't even know what I was doing. Sometimes I just record whatever was on my mind. A 5-year-old kid, what the heck is a 5-year-old kid thinking in her mind? But I'm over here recording different sounds, playing the piano, just toying around with things like that. But always found myself doing a lot of like artistic stuff. Like I love to draw. I love to I was a cheerleader back then, so down to doing dances, and honestly anything that was creative, even some of which I do now, I was doing then. But the main thing I had a whole passion about was acting. I always found myself getting into different characters as a little kid. I would wear like different outfits to just, be in my little animated self, which is ironic because I do that now. Like I literally do the skit. I just finished doing the skit the other day and posted it on my social media. So I was like, oh yeah, we back.
Oh man. And it's interesting. You just kind of geared because yeah, I do a full divulge of topics. So I read the bio on your website, and yeah, I don't play about my journalism.
Right. You did no homework. I know that's right.
Like if you we know each other, but we don't know each other. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like so like if someone comes on here, I need to know them, or else I look like an idiot.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
so like it's kind of like that. Like sometimes it's easier when I know the topic on a personal level. But if I don't, I'm gonna know them. They ain't gonna know me all the way, but I'm gonna know them.
Right. Exactly.
So your bio did state that you started creating music with your dad at 5. How has his influence affected your life musically and in general?
Yeah, I mean, majorly. I mean, my dad. I mean, like I said, like my dad. Well, right now we're a single father household. Me, my dad, my brother, my younger brother who's now 18. So my dad has been my best friend, like my best friend my whole life. My dad is very and was very present. My dad was very and is very supportive in everything that we do, as far as what we love to do, as long as it's functionable, meaning that it's not something that's going to harm people or put me in jail. um and generally wise, I mean, like I said, because like I said, on my dad's side of the family, both of his parents, so I say that not to confuse my mom's side of things.
Mm-hmm.
um Both his parents were very active. So my dad has four siblings, two
Okay.
sisters, two brothers, and he's the second oldest. So after my auntie Regina, she's the oldest. It would be my dad, and his name's Sean. And then after my dad, it would be I always get this part wrong. I think Uncle Willie, and then there's Uncle Rod, and then my auntie Stephanie. I don't know if I got the order mixed up with my Uncle Willie and Uncle Rod. I always mix them up somehow, but that's pretty much the dynamic of the house. So with the five of them plus them in the house, it was kind of like I don't know how to compare it. Like the Brady Bunch, but I guess like the I don't know how to explain it. What's the Family Matters? Is that I don't know. Like they say they're poor, but the way they interacted with each other was very like rich and wealthy. So it was kind of like one of those households.
Absolutely.
That's
Absolutely. Just a nice mixture of people.
exactly. So I felt like with that in mind, my dad definitely had that affluence growing up. So I think with that, it kind of geared with all of us. Once again, we were a type of family. So my dad, we just grew up with love. We grew up with no malice towards each other. So of course my dad
Mm-hmm.
was very supportive, naturally. And now as far as like the musical side of things go, he actually was in a group back in the late, I'm going to get this wrong, the late 1980s, but he was signed on Mercury Polygram record, with a group called Rockin' G and DJ Sean, with his partners at the time, Reggie and John, who also calls himself Uncle Boogie, which is ironic. I mean, this is not this interview, but Uncle Boogie's nephew is actually another artist from the 845, and he goes by GM or Two Letter King. So then when we connected, kind of put the two pieces together, we're like, wait. This whole time we was family. We didn't even know it.
They ain't even have a clue. Like
We were
he,
just the way my dad and Uncle Boogie John, who's GM's uncle, they were talking like because they're like this and stuff like that. And they're like, yeah, my daughter, she's also in the area. We gotta connect. And my dad was like, yeah, John's nephew Jerome. And I was like, okay. Now I'm not connecting Jerome to GM, so because I knew him
yeah,
as GM and stuff. And they saying Jerome. I was like, okay, cool, okay, that's me. And next year, I don't even know how it ended up happening, but now I'm speaking with GM, who is Jerome, and we're talking. I'm like, wait a minute, your uncle, so your uncle is John, yeah, bro. I'm Sean's daughter. They were talking about me. They're like, wait. So this whole time they were talking about us, and we talked about them, and we didn't even know. And I'm like, no, hold on. No, then what else we about to find out? I was sitting on $1 million, and the $1 million went missing, and we just trying to figure out where it went. And this whole time it was underneath the house.
like what's going on here?
Yeah. So I thought that was really cool. And like I said, and the reason why I say that, because again, my dad back in the day was doing the music. He was actually DJ Red Alert's backup DJ. He DJ for which Isley brother? I think Ron Isley's house.
Okay.
Yeah, he very very knitted in the industry, but unfortunately their management or their manager Winston, he screwed them all up, and unfortunately because of that whole situation, it didn't blow up like how the other artists did. But my dad taught me a lot as far as how the game goes. Definitely made sure that whatever did happen to them didn't happen to me and my brother, and hence why we created our own label called Home Cave Records.
Okay.
We're at the sweatshirt. My dad gave me this for Christmas, so I had to rep it for the interview because this is my first
Okay.
wearing it. So I was like, okay, let me show it off then.
Okay. I ain't even mad at that. And I met him that day, and he's just a really laid back, monotone guy, very supportive. Um, really seems like he's very knowledgeable
Yeah.
in in the industry, because as I'm starting to learn coming into this world, it's different, because it's kind of like people are cutthroat, and
Hmm.
I understand that's how you have to be, but there's a way to do things. I'm always mindful that there's a way to do things without having to be cutthroat or a piece of shit.
Yeah.
There's a right way to do things to get what you want and get what's best for your artist. Some people only want to do what's best for them,
Right.
and that's not right. We have to change the narrative on that.
Right. Right. Agreed.
So would you say that growing up you listen to a lot of hip hop and R&B music?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I grew up on a lot of different like sounds. I mean, I grew up on listening to even down to a lot of disco, like Diana Ross and the Supremes slash Diana Ross, because Diana Ross was part of the Supremes. I was listening to it because my mom, she loved like the DeBarge and Sky. And I'm gonna get into that later because I actually had the opportunity to connect with Ladies of Sky, and we're working on something
Right.
that you guys will find out in 2025, and actually probably even the next month or so. But yeah, I grew up listening to a lot of different sounds. Of course, hip hop and R&B was kind of like my main influence in the ages where I could remember, like kid growing up, because of those are the songs my dad always DJed. But I've listened to all different sounds. I mean, even down to rock, maybe not so much metal and country, but I've listened to all different types of sounds. Like, I mean, as a DJ's daughter, naturally you're gonna hear all different kinds of sounds, especially if you go to different parties and people got different tastes and different things they want to listen to. So naturally, I'm listening to all the different sounds my dad is playing until I get old enough to kind of figure it out on my own. But yeah, definitely hip hop and definitely hip hop has been a major influence growing up, especially as far as the music that he made with his group and that whole generation of things before Tupac and Biggie and Lil Kim and all of them. And like I didn't really truly think about this until like more recently of how much I realize how lucky I am to have a father that has that direct history impact to the
Hmm.
industry. And although a lot of people may not know that, because, like I said, my dad wasn't credentialized in the way that he probably would have been if it wasn't for the management screw up that occurred. But even with that, like just hearing stories and being able to hear it from his point of view instead of watching it from like a TV show where all these other artists tell their story. My dad is part of that history, and he's getting it directly because he was there and he was part of it. And just being able to hear it from his end is just, I mean, the stories he has is crazy. Like, if oh my goodness, like I said, if he got on here, the interview's over. At this point, the interview's over. We about to have a whole movie, because that literally the way he be explaining stuff is like, what did you not go through at this point? Like, what have you not seen? What is it? Because at this point, I'm like, oh my goodness, he does everything. He does everything, everything, everything. So
Hell, sounds like he needs to come on and have a conversation.
he do, and he would too, and he would tell you a lot of different things, a lot of different things. I couldn't even tell you right now because it's just so much. But it's definitely made a huge impact as far as, at least and me as an artist, but also just in general, just my influence in music is definitely because he's music, like
Right.
he was in the groups. He's done all the industry stuff as far as the people connection and all that stuff. So, getting that as my father, plus being an active father outside the music stuff, I definitely get the best of both worlds. Like, I'm super grateful, super, super, super grateful for that.
It's a beautiful thing. Beautiful. The
Yeah.
reason I ask is because I play this game on here. It's called Honest Picks.
Okay.
And I give you two artists. You tell me which one you like more. It's
Okay.
just personal preference. There's
Right.
no rules or anything. Yeah, I'm just gonna start here. Tupac or DMX?
Shit.
Right out the gate.
Oh. I mean, if you said Tupac or Biggie, I honestly would have said Tupac. Wow, that's tough. That's, dang. Because I gotta shout out to Rough Riders, but if I'm talking musically, okay, if I gotta like if I'm counting songs that I listened to and what I was kind of more hooked on, I have to say Tupac. But like DMX is like a different, like he's just different. I mean, they both are. I'm gonna say Tupac. I'm gonna say Tupac. But shout out to DMX.
Okay. Okay.
Shout out to DMX though. Dang, that was hard.
Rakim or KRS-One?
Rakim.
Big Daddy Kane or LL Cool J?
Big Daddy Kane. Damn, sorry, L. Cool J. Sorry, L. Now, L, I got stories about you too, but yeah, I'm gonna have to say, yeah.
Damn. LL's that dude though.
Yeah, he is. Shout out to him.
I don't know why DMX is here twice, but I'm gonna ask it. DMX. DMX or Busta Rhymes?
Oh my gosh! Busta too. He gonna get me. Wow. I'm going. Wow, because in my head they're a tiebreaker, but
you can say both if you want to say both.
I mean, I would say both, but if I had to pick one, I'm gonna have to honestly say Busta. Dang, because you know why? Because the way I grew up listening to music, I listened more to Busta than I did DMX. But once again, DMX is like, he's like literally tiebreaker with them. It's just if I had to pick one, I'm picking the one I listen to more. That's the only reason why I was.
I can't knock you for that. I can't knock you for that at all.
These are some good picks because it's not like you're picking Barney and Mickey Mouse because I'm picking Mickey Mouse like that. Like, sorry Barney, but the dinosaur, you gotta go. You could go. You could handle those kids over there. I gotta go Mickey Mouse here. Mickey Mouse.
Nas or Eminem?
Nas. Shout out to Eminem.
Andre 3000 or Black Thought?
I'm gonna say Andre 3000 just simply because I haven't listened to much Black Thought. If I were to be honest, I've heard of them. It's just I haven't really listened to their music like that.
Okay, yeah, Black Thought is one of the rappers in the Roots. He's just Black Thought something.
Yeah.
Big Pun or Big L?
Big Pun.
J. Cole or Kendrick?
Kendrick, I'm sorry.
Oh man,
I have to say Kendrick, but you know what though? That's a hard pick because I really rock with J. Cole's music, but Kendrick, it just has more of the aesthetic I like to listen to more, just a little bit more. I mean, obviously, I love J. Cole's artistry. J. Cole, his lyricism is like on a different tier, but Kendrick is he's like one of those jack of all trades, and it's like I never know what I'm gonna get with Kendrick's sound. That's kind of like what I kind of was. Yeah.
I respect it. I respect it.
This is good. Like honestly, this is a good segment. This is
good. Big Sean or Kanye West?
Kanye West. I'm sorry, Big Sean. Kanye West, all the way. Kanye West, because I mean, also the producer. Like, come on now. Like, Kanye might be, Kanye might be Kanye, but music, I would never doubt him on. Oh.
Common or Mos Def?
That's actually a good one. Go. Wow. I'm gonna say Common.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm gonna say Common. Dang, Mos Def got some hits though. I ain't gonna hold you. Yeah, I'm gonna say Common.
Ghostface Killer or Ice Cube?
Oh, shout out to both of them. I mean, East Coast and West Coast, right? I gotta rap East Coast. I'm gonna say Ghostface Killer. But shout out to Ice Cube. I mean, come on.
You. Snoop Dogg or Dr. Dre?
I mean, because they was on the same league, so I don't even know if this count. Um, so I feel like this question is hard because I feel like they're the way they categorize themselves is like different. Like Dr. Dre, I feel like it's more comparable to like your uh what's another one that like because Dr. Dre, I'm thinking producer in my head for some reason. I'm thinking kind of more on like the mogul and Snoop Dogg, he's like your jack of all trade. I mean, damn, this is hard. I personally like Snoop Dogg more if I'm going more on the personable side of things. If I'm going
Okay.
basic, I'm gonna say Snoop Dogg because honestly, even with music, I mean, they did a lot of songs together, and majority of the songs I've liked by Dr. Dre feature Snoop Dogg. So I mean, I don't know. It's kind of hard because Dr. Dre, he's the beat creator.
Yeah.
I mean, he's Dr. Dre for Christ's sake. I don't know.
Exactly. Fair enough. And shout out to their new album, Missionary.
Oh, see, I gotta check that out because I knew they had something out, but I didn't know what it was called. So I gotta check that out.
And you know, people are like not liking it, but I'm like, listen, Chronic and Doggy Style, Snoop and Dre, get that out of your head. It's two friends coming together to
Yeah,
make some music, and they had a good time doing it. And I think they did well. I
right.
I did not expect another Chronic. I did not expect another Doggy Style. I just went in. I just wanted a good album, just like Method Man and Redman are talking about Blackout 3. That's fine. I'm
Right.
not expecting the original Blackout. I'm just expecting two friends who are dope rappers, still killing it
Yeah.
after 20 plus years, just to make good music. That's all I
Right.
want.
That's
Not-
really about though. So I don't know. I'm music.
Eve,
I'm just here for the union.
you know,
Right. What's the next one? What's the next one? What we got?
Eve or Missy Elliott.
Eve, Missy Elliott, but I love Eve. I love Eve. I love Eve to death. Missy Elliott. Missy Elliott. Like, put some respect on Missy Elliott. I love Eve though. I love Eve.
All right, all right. Lady of Rage or Queen Latifah.
Queen Latifah.
MC Light or Lauren Hill.
Lauryn Hill. But these are some good ones.
Lil Kim or Nicki Minaj.
Lil Kim, but I love Nicki. Shout out to Nicki. Lil Kim though. That's the blueprint right there.
Foxy or Trina.
Ooh. Foxy, because she's the blueprint once again. Shout out to Trina though.
Rhapsody or Remy Ma.
I look too good to be reckless, and I feel good to be repping. I love Remy. I'm gonna say Rhapsody though.
Yeah, you know, Rhapsody, like I came across, listen, not for nothing. I've been finding female rappers on accident. And my respect for female rappers and I don't know like if it's just like out of just kind of just it's not like it's like one-sided, but I feel like female rappers don't have the same not don't have don't get the same
Like cadence in a way.
compared to the men,
Yeah.
right? Like, when you hear people talk about hip hop, the females don't really get as recognized.
Mm-mm.
But let me tell you something. I found some ones on accident this year. Like just going through Instagram. Have you ever heard of a rapper named Ciroc? It's SA-ROC.
Mm-mm.
Let me tell you, look her up.
Yeah, it's a rock.
Find her. Let me tell you, she's got like 11 albums. Like I've listened to 8 of them within the last 2 weeks. Because I'm just like standing there like, you've been making music since 2014. How have I never heard of you?
Right.
There's her. There's another one. Her name's Soul Child. And it's
Oh, I know Soldier. Okay.
Soul Child is a good one. Oh man, there was a Samara Cyan is another one. She's real good. Gosh, there was just another one I was just listening to. There's just so and it's just made me have an appreciation more so for female hip hop.
Right.
Of course, Doshi is dope. Like,
Tell
you
you.
know, like there is just so much out there that, and I think it's something that needs to be acknowledged a
Yeah.
little more, which now kind of gives me an epiphany, kind of gives me an idea. I don't know if I can pull it off,
Yeah.
but but I would love to do a type of female event to showcase women,
Let's do it.
like, and not just hip hop women, R&B,
Yeah.
soul, like, because even just recently, you know, at that event, where I had seen you, I'm just looking, and let me tell you, Miss Hidden Jewels, oh my God.
Oh, I
Woo!
love her. I love
Oh my God.
her. Shout
Oh
out.
my oh my God.
Love her. And she
Like,
actually was mentored by Big Daddy Kane too. So yeah, she's definitely one to watch for sure.
I reached out. I said, you got to come on here.
Yeah,
Like I'm listening to her, and I'm just like, oh my God.
yeah.
Like,
Music is good.
like,
Really.
and then I just found another artist in the Manosphere. Queen Jules is her name.
Yeah, it's my her too.
And yeah,
She
and
always I
I'm
love
just like, oh
yeah,
man.
I think I don't want to ruin it for her though, because I don't know if this was something she announced, but I know she definitely has something coming up next month. So whenever she posts it, make sure y'all check it out because she has a new song.
Okay.
I had the privilege to listen to it. I'm just saying like this is it's fire, and y'all
Okay.
gonna be in for a treat. I don't want to say too much. If I want her to announce it, but yeah,
Okay.
she got some good.
Okay. Yeah. I've been listening to like her whatever Wednesday it's called.
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
going back and watching them. I'm like, yo, I'm like, man. So the point I'm making is that there's so many, yourself included, like, just so many and powerful women who really understand music. And I think it needs to be showcased. I love just in our area even, I love Andromeda. Love her. Like,
shout out
that is my girl, So Leia,
to Leia. Oh,
you
it's so
know it's all about, just I think that there needs to be a bigger focus
yeah.
on female MCs and female singers.
Amen. I agree. It's about time we come together and do this.
Well, you know what that means. I think after this show we're exchanging phone numbers. We
Oh,
social media thing's too hard. I like phone numbers. Like,
yeah,
people think I'm weird for that, but like it's just like, yo, I like phone numbers. So
yeah.
easy. I feel
It's
like
classic.
more direct, because
Classic.
even me, I'll see a message on Instagram, right, and I'll be like, oh, okay, and then like you just forget about it. But text messages, you go into your
So
text messages more,
that,
so you're like, oh, okay, we can get this.
yeah, yeah, definitely. When it comes to business, I'm definitely more on the tech side of things, and I mean that's business. I mean, come on now,
Exactly.
what if you got hacked? Because I got hacked before on IG, so I'm a little more I mean it's a lot easier to use because everybody's on it, but I get very skeptical with certain business aspects on Instagram because I was hacked in the past, and it's just too much to keep track. And then you get DMs from everybody, so it's like the DMs you get a mix of the BS, you get the mix of group chats, and you get on entertainment.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, granted, it's good for some cases, but I, for business purposes, and if you're really close loved ones, text is definitely more preferred for me because I just feel like it's just more concrete.
Right.
That's definitely everyone got their preference, but yeah, I get what you're saying though.
Well, Instagram's got a bigger reach as in terms of finding like people, like, all these people I've recognized and I've noticed, and I've networked with,
Yeah,
and all that stuff. We just, it's easier because on Instagram you don't have to be their friend always to see what they got going on, right?
right.
Facebook, you got to be their friend. so
Right.
you're limited. But once again, you have to watch for the hacking and the spam and all that stuff as
Oh,
well.
yes.
Outcast or a Tribe Called Quest?
Tribe. Wow. That's
You was ready to go.
gosh. Because I have to put respect on Tribe Called Quest. They were on the same label as my dad's group, and also like, what
You
was
was
that
like
song?
Tribe.
Like, boom,
You was like Tribe. Wait, what?
boom. Yeah, no. I gotta say Find a Way. Sorry, I gotta say Find a Way.
All right, fair
I'm
enough.
not Find a Way. That's one of their songs, but Tribe Called Quest. But I mean, Outkast, because Andre 3000 is part of Outkast. Hey,
Yeah,
y'all, oh.
get it.
Hey, like that's my jam. That's not that. Like, yeah, no, you can't underestimate Outkast. That's like, but people don't know Andre 3000. Even my dad didn't know that Andre 3000. I forgot what was the other member.
Big Boy.
Right, that's the one I keep forgetting about. But yeah, Big Boy and Andre 3000. Yeah, that. Woo, yeah, that. Hey, now I feel old. That's crazy. Like I'm young, but just now thinking back, like I remember I was bumping to that when I was 12. That's crazy.
EPMD or De La Soul?
Oh, hold on. I actually don't know about that one.
Going both?
Yeah, that one I don't know. I feel like they equally kind of level playing with me on that one. Shout out to both though.
The Locks or G Unit?
What was the first one?
The Locks.
Oh, okay, like with Jada Kiss and all of them. Jada Kiss, cause what? The Locks. I mean, shout out to 50 Cent, but the Locks. I'm like, it's not debatable. The Locks. Is it the Locks or the Locks?
The Locks.
The Locks. Okay, yeah. Them. Yup. Jada Kiss is top tier. Sorry, 50.
Pete Rock and CL Smooth or Eric B and Rakim?
Eric B and Rakim. I'm rooting for Rakim. Sorry. Shout out to Rakim. I had the privilege to meet him too. So shout out to them.
Yeah, he's definitely his GOAT in his own right.
Oh yeah. All day. Good people too.
John Legend or Neo?
See, now that's a hard one because now personality wise, I would say John Legend, but so like hits, I'm gonna say Neo because Neo is also a songwriter, and was he the one that wrote "Irreplaceable" for Beyonce?
He did.
Yeah, and I mean, if I'm going based off that, I gotta say Neo as far as like music credentials. Like I have to go with that. But if I had to go based off like who I would personally like, then I would probably say John Legend. But I'm gonna say Neo just simply because I mean I listen to more of his music anyway. So yeah.
Okay. Babyface or Keith Sweat?
Oh my God, this is getting worse. There she goes, baby. Oh no, I'm gonna say both for that one. I can't grade that one. I'm sorry, that's hard.
R. Kelly or Usher? Like that. You just looked at me
I'm
like
gonna say Usher, but see now this is where it gets controversial because obviously we know the whole R. Kelly situation. See, Robert got locked up, right? But
yeah.
R. Kelly, like the way he shaped R&B music in the industry is just different. Like Trap in the Closet was probably one of the most legendary songs / video movie. I mean, you can't surprise that. Like that was that's something I always wanted to do is something like Trap in the Closet where it's a song but you make it into like a whole series and it's like a thriller movie. It's just something I've never seen before. Like that's some different type of stuff and you can't compare that to you can't even compare that to like today's generation or past generations. Like what R. Kelly did with that was clever. And if I had to go based off like song choice, Trap in the Closet is like literally one of my favorite, like even till this day, literally one of my favorite. It's a hard decision because I mean, like literally all of R. Kelly's hits were hits, like Happy People, Step in the Name of Love. I mean, I'm going in the classics, like
Oh yeah.
his features, and oh man, that's woo. Now I'm trying. Maybe I should say both, but I'm gonna say Usher. I'm gonna say Usher,
Okay.
but R. Kelly definitely is in his own league as far as music go. But yeah, of course, it's controversial based off the other stuff. But I'm talking about music, so yeah.
Well, I think we froze for a second there.
Oh,
There we go.
we back. We
We back. We good.
back.
I can respect it. I can respect it.
Oh,
Jill Scott or Erica Badu?
I personally love Jill Scott. I know. I know a lot of people would pick oh wow, why am I saying her name wrong? Erica Badu, but me personally, I've actually been more of a Jill Scott listener. Music wise, Golden is like one of my favorite hits. Like Golden, Golden, living my life golden, golden. Like that's my song. Like now, I had to say Jill Scott. Like me personally, I would say Jill Scott, but obviously we know the presence and the cadence that Erica Badu has left in R&B soul, like the what they call neo soul.
Neo Soul. Yeah.
Yeah, she definitely reigns neo soul as far as like the genre of things go. But me personally, I would say Jill Scott.
Okay. Okay. Sade or Shaka Khan?
Wow, this is horrible.
Oh, we're almost to the end.
I'm gonna say E because they're both two separate moves. So how could I'm gonna say both because Sade it gives me more of like my inner feels, and Shaka Khan is like do like
Energy.
two different vibes. So I can't compare those two. So I have to say both.
Mary J. Blige or Janet Jackson?
I'm gonna say Janet. But that was an easy pick because like I listened to everything Mary J, like from Family Affair. What was the one that was like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday? What she called that? I forgot. What she called that song? I forgot.
Oh Lord.
It was like
I know what song you're talking about. I just can't pin the name to the song.
yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
but yeah, that's another hard one too. But I'm gonna say Janet just because Janet is like the staple, like Janet. Yeah, she's kind of like the staple stuff. So I'm gonna say Janet.
Ray Charles or Stevie Wonder?
Stevie Wonder, but shout out to Ray Charles and rest in peace to him. But then again, Ray Charles is the staple as well. It's just I am not as familiar growing up listening to Ray Charles. Obviously, I know of Ray Charles in the movie and hearing about him through my dad and stuff. But just Stevie Wonder had more an influence with me growing up than Ray, so that's why I say Stevie. But yeah.
Okay. Whitney Houston or Aretha Franklin?
Whitney Houston, but shout out to Aretha Franklin. I have to say Whitney. Leo game. Whitney.
I know you know what the last one is.
Do I?
Everyone guesses. Michael Jackson or Prince?
Michael Jackson. No offense to wait. Shout out to Prince. Shout out to Prince, but I mean like that's crazy. Michael Jackson. No offense, Prince. Dang. Sorry, Prince. Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson. That's almost like saying Mariah Carey and I mean, I don't know, because I don't want to down anybody. That's like saying me and Mariah Carey, like Mariah Carey, like come on, stop playing with me. Like I appreciate y'all for doing that, but let's not be delusional now.
Let's get into what it is. Like let's keep it real.
Right. Exactly. Wow, that was a good game. I like that. We gotta do that more. But those choices was hard.
I had Hood Soul on here, right? And I asked him Biggie or Tupac, and his head almost exploded. That was the first one. I'm like, bro, this is the generic one. So for him, I had like 30 of them written down. Yeah. So like typically I don't do them all. So I was like, we're doing them all.
Yeah, I was like, hey, if you did say Biggie or Tupac for me, I would say Tupac, but East Coast we rap. But I was growing up listening to Tupac. I mean, they died when I was born though. So I kind of had to go back in time to kind of learn all of what happened. But yeah, I was definitely more of a Tupac fan. Like if Tupac and Biggie, like if I was alive during that time, I probably would have found myself being more of a Tupac fan. But
Yeah,
I rep East Coast, so
that's it. Got to do it.
Period.
So I also read that you tried out to be in the Lion King.
What? How'd you read that? Oh my gosh, I don't even be talking about that. That's crazy. Wait, that was on my thing too. Oh wow.
She said, "How'd you read
Oh,
that?"
I'm going way back. Wow. Oh my god, I remember when my grandma. Because I was one of the that whole. Okay, so first of all, I think I was either 7 or 8 when I did the tryouts for the Lion King on Broadway. So I don't know what year that was, but I was 7 or 8. It had to be like 2004-ish, like somewhere in there. And I remember that there was, first of all, it was cold. So it had to be somewhere between January, February, because it was so cold outside. My hands was freezing more than it is now. And I remember we were waiting, and when I say we, I mean me and my family, we were waiting in line for hours just to get inside where they had a long line inside, going up the stairs to then go into the main room where they were kind of doing the tryout thing, to then have us in the waiting room to break it down from there as far as who they want to see in the next room for the second round. That whole process was crazy. Like I met some good people outside, like when we were waiting and stuff.
Yeah.
But that whole experience was definitely it was definitely interesting. It was definitely one of those situations where I was kind of just doing it just for the heck of it. It wasn't nothing I was really I mean, everything I do anyways, I don't expect to get. But as a child, it kind of just took me just to be like, okay, let's just do it just to say you did it. You know, it wasn't really me actually wanting to be, because I was playing Simba, like I was doing the trials for Simba, and I wouldn't necessarily say I was the best singer, but I definitely had the energy, and I guess at the because I was a soprano, so I had that right pitch for Simba. So I'm cutting this story short, because if I gave you the long version it was a lot that happened that day. But the long story short, we after a couple hours of waiting, I finally got into the tryout room where they did the first round and kind of broke up the group based off the characters. And I had my number. I forgot what number I was wearing for playing Simba. And we were in this big circle. Like it was like, oh, I've never seen a circle so huge. Maybe it was an oval actually. Like literally, and this room was like, I don't even know how to compare it, but this room was so big. It was like 3 times the size of my house. The room was so big, you could run a mile and back, and you could call that a workout. It was so big. I'd never seen a circle so big. I never thought it would get to me. I was like, they're never gonna get to me, because this circle had like 200. It could fit 200 people in a circle. I felt like it was at least a good 200 of us. I'll tell you, that line was long, so I was not surprised that it was gonna be like a big room of people, but I didn't expect it to be that big. But we did the first round. We did the part where it's like, everybody look left, like everybody look right, everybody look down, standing in the spotlight, and and all that good stuff. Did my part, all that good stuff, and then they called the numbers that they wanted to keep for the next round. Those that they didn't call, of course, they got dismissed, and they called my number. So they called my number. They said, okay, we're gonna maintain you guys in this room for the second round of things. In the meantime, we're gonna have you in the waiting side. I guess they had like the waiting side of the room or whatever the case may be. So I was on the waiting side, and so my family's still on the other side, not knowing what's going on and stuff like that. And then they moved us back once they cleared out, I guess, those that got dismissed, to do the second round, because they had different rooms to do different trials. So it wasn't just like all of us in that one room. They kind of broke it up in others, but whatever my group was in this room. And we did the second round, and we did the same thing that we did for the first round. Except now this time we have a smaller circle. Obviously, half of us got deleted. So now instead of being like 200, it was 100. I don't know if that was how many of us, but it felt like that. Right. Long story short, I made it through the second round as well. And the second round had at least a good 15 of us. So we went from like downsizing like 200 to 100. And then like we cut it like 1/5 into like 15. And I was the top 15. And I was like, okay. Like,
all right. Like,
I can make the first round, so I'm lit. So then they said, okay, we're gonna take a quick break or whatever. So that I went to the room with my family, and of course I'm telling them like, oh my god, top 15. Yeah, I'm a finalist. I'm one of the finalists. Da, 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 da. And then we get into the third round. Of course, we're doing it again. But now they're becoming a little bit more selective as far as what they're really looking for the character for Simba. And now they're kind of getting more into like the characteristics and the looks. Now, I was a tall girl. Now, I'm average. I'm what you would call average now. But back then, I was tall. I was considered a tall height. And that's why I think I shrunk. But that's besides the point. So, you know, because I definitely was taller than everyone, and now all of a sudden I'm looking up to them. I went from looking down and looking up, and that's that houseway. How?
Houseway.
I was like, I couldn't have been 5'8" before, but I definitely was taller than y'all, and now I feel short. That's weird, interesting. But so we did the singing for the top 15, or at least I think it was it was the top 15 round, and I did the Simba part, da 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 da. And I made it into the final round, which was the top 5.
Nice.
Now they're kind of becoming more and more picky. Now the top 5, this was like crucial because the top 5, you're about to at this point find out who the Simba person was. But then they were doing a top 5, the top 3, and then from there they were going to select who they wanted. Now the top 5 was interesting because although they really loved my voice for the Simba role, they felt like I was, from their words, they felt like I was too tall. So they were a little stuck on how they wanted to place me for this character if I shall get Simba because of the height, which I thought was stupid because, I mean, I don't know. I felt like me personally, I wasn't that tall. Right. But I guess they wanted somebody like that looked more kiddish in the height. And because there was a couple other auditionees that actually was more fitted in the look and the sound than I was, I got dismissed in the top 5 round. So I don't even know who got Simba. Congratulations to that. Well, at the time, that kid, but I was even shocked, even getting to the top 5. My grandmother, everybody was celebrating. Oh my god, I can't believe you made that! Like that was crazy. We're just doing the audition, just kind of doing it for the heck of it, and I ended up becoming top 5. And I didn't even think I did all that. Like I really wasn't even trying to do all that, but I ended up being top 5. And I was like, wow, if I could do that, I wonder what else I can do. I mean, that even happened with my pageant stuff. Like the same thing. Like the pageant thing, I had no, expectation on getting anything. When I did the Egg Palace Albany one, I don't remember what. I think it was 2008. Yeah. A long story short, I got second runner up for that, and I wasn't even expecting to even get to the first round of it. So I was like,
your bio also said your mother believed it was a scam.
Yep. Okay, so you did see that. So because when it came in, I guess they had like a pamphlet letter thing, majingy, and actually my dad thought it was a scam because when it came in the mail, my dad actually read it first, and he was about to shred it because he was just like, yeah, no, this looks scary. He's not going to think anything serious anyways because it's a pageant. He don't know. I mean, I don't even know anything about pageant, but like to him, it's just like, okay, this is a scam. But then my mom grabbed it. She was like, oh, let me see. I don't know. I guess something about her, whatever she saw in the letter, she was like, maybe this is something my daughter could try. And we tried it, but I wasn't really I'm not going to lie, I was not taking it seriously at first. Not that I didn't care. It's just I wasn't expecting nothing from it. I just kind of was just like, okay, I'm going to do it. Just kind of like the same with the Broadway one, but at least with the Broadway one, I actually wanted to audition. Like I wanted to go through the process and just see how it is, just so I could say I experienced it. The pageant thing, I'm going to be honest with you, I was a little skeptical about myself. I just wasn't really into that. Like I love modeling. I always loved modeling, but something about the pageant thing, I never grabbed the concept of it, even though I love watching pageants, at least like the Miss USA's and all that. It's just for the pageant, for me, I just felt like I was too improper to do pageantry and trying to morph myself into that. I felt like it was going to be a challenge, but surprisingly when we did, well, at least when we had the meeting for it, and then they talked about the process about it before we even did the process. I was like, okay, maybe I can actually do this. They were teaching us like the pageant stuff. I can't do it right now, but it was like the 1-2 pivot, 1-2 pivot, and then the wave and the other. Yeah, it was definitely an experience, but just like the Broadway, it was like thousands of girls. Like, I mean, I'm not talking hundreds, I'm talking thousands.
For,
So I'm
for
not thinking
one
that
part?
it's all, I don't know how. I'm like, that's why I was like, that's why my dad thought it was a scam, because it's like, okay, all these girls, no offense, Vanessa, no offense. These are thousands of girls, predominantly non-color. And I mean, I'm like, so like at the time, I was kind of considered your brown skin girl. Like it was so different in those times. So
Absolutely.
definitely, it would definitely highlight a colorism issue today. But back then, it was just, it was one of those that they didn't really necessarily pay attention to at the time. So I definitely kind of felt like I stood out, but not in the way I wanted to. So I already in my mind, I was like, I'm not gonna get it. I'm just gonna do this just like the Broadway thing for the experience and see where this goes. But I'm not really thinking much of it. Well, long story short, we did the meeting. Then we did the beginning process where they grouped us because they had different divisions based on the age. They had I was Miss Preteen. I forgot what they had teen. They had the adult one, and then they had the I forgot what they called the younger one. I forgot. But I was the preteen category. In my category, there was literally like 1,000 girls. Like it was 1,000 of each division. So it was 4,000 girls all together. 4 divisions. Break it up into 4. You got 1,000. And now, again, just like the Broadway one, you're doing it in different rounds. So again, I'm not expecting to even be picked in any of these rounds, but I'm going to just do it, right? So everybody had to do the same little pivot thing. Do. So I did all that. I don't know how this happened, but I ended up becoming, I think it was top 20, top 10, and then no. It was because it was 3 different rounds. It was 3 different rounds, and I think top 10 was the last one, actually. So there was a top 10, there was a top 20, and maybe I didn't really remember what happened in the first round. I'll be honest with you. It was so much happening. But anyways, I'm going to skip to the top 20. So the top 20.
Okay.
I was number 79. I remember this because I'll never forget 79 now. That was my number, 79. Yep. And I think in the top 20 round, they were asking us like generic questions. It was kind of like, what question? It was like a generic question because I remember what the question was for top 10. I don't remember top 20. But it was like a generic question, and then we did like kind of like not a talent segment, but like wearing the outfit because I was a cheerleader, so I wore a cheerleading outfit, and then we just model in the outfit that we're showcasing as far as what we do.
Yeah.
Actually doing the talent.
We're a cheerleader for 7 years.
Yeah, exactly. So I was kind of modeling into that. And then I made it through as far as the top 20 goes. I don't remember what it was a very generic question that I think everybody had. But anyway, so we get into top 10. Now, I'm the only, there's one other culturally ambiguous girl, but I don't know if she was like half black, half white. But I'm the only black girl as far as like ethnicity wise goes. And I'm already like shaking boots because I'm like, oh my gosh, there's no way I'm gonna make it. I'm like, I made it this far. I don't even know how I made this far. Like my parents are shocked. They're in the crowd. They're like, oh my god, my daughter made it to the top 10. Oh my god. My dad is explaining it to me after the fact, but during the fact, he's like, oh my gosh, my daughter is out there. Now I don't know he's reacting this way because he's in the crowd. I don't see nobody, but he's telling me this after the fact. So that's why I'm saying it now so that you get like the full scope.
Yeah.
He's like, oh my gosh, to think that this was a scam. My daughter's the top 10. She's in the top 10. So I remember my question. They said, if you had 24 hours left to live on this earth, who would you spend it with and why? And I said, my dad, my mom, and my brother, because if it wasn't for them, I would not be here. And I think the way I worded it, everybody's like, oh my gosh. No. Yeah, because I was like, I didn't say that. I didn't say it like that. I was like, my dad, my mom, and my brother, because they're my family, and without them, I wouldn't know who I would be. That's what I said. So then everybody was like, oh my gosh. Oh my God. I don't know. I mean, that came from my heart, but I didn't think it was enough for everybody to be reacting like that. But I was happy. I was like, yeah.
He's like, okay.
I'll do that. Because there was a few other girls that was part of the top to and it had some good questions, but I kind of was just tunnel vision with mine. I was so nervous. I didn't want to like mess up mine. So I wasn't really paying attention to some of the other girls until I went. So the girls that went after me, then I was kind of like listening. But yeah, anyways, they started announcing the top five and they called my number. The second that they called, I was the second person that got called. I remember this. They said number 79, Vanessa Chim. I was like,
like,
I was,
somebody.
I was like, oh my God. Okay, yeah. So now they announced the top five. So I'm part of the top five. And of course, we took our picture, right? Now they're about to break down the runners. So they had the fourth runner-up, which would be fifth place, the third runner-up, which would be second place, second runner-up, which was third place, first runner-up, second place, and then you had the winner. So in case those that got confused, that's pretty much how they did it. So they named their fifth place, which was the fourth runner-up, was not me. I think her name was Dominique. I think she had the fifth place. I remember her. She was not cool. Then we had the third runner-up, I think, was Quinn. And no, actually, she was first runner-up. I forgot. Oh, Lauren was third runner-up, and the second runner-up was me. So I got third place. I was shocked I even placed. So third runner-up,
Hey.
I was like, okay, because I was just like, all right now. Okay, and then they said second runner-up, Vanessa Chim. I was like, oh, shoot. Okay.
I did it. I placed.
You know what I'm saying? I was so hyped. I was like, wow, I wasn't expecting that. Then, of course, they had first runner-up, which was second place, my girl Quinn. And then first place, I think her name was Ashley. She won the whole thing. But the fact that whole experience, and it started off with, and I'm not kidding, 1,000 girls, we got it down to 30, and then we got it down to 20, and then 10, and then I'm top 5, and then I'm top 3, technically, because I got third place. Mm-hmm. So it was just crazy. Like I had just luck when it came to doing stuff. That's why whenever I do things in life, I just do it. I do it with no expectations in hopes that things go well, but I don't put no expectations. I just do it if I feel like it's right, because you just never know. And I've always lived with that philosophy because of the experiences I had between the Simba thing and the pageant stuff. And these were things I just did not even expect to do. But absolutely. I honestly think those experiences led me to where I am now, because if I didn't do all of that, I don't know. I honestly don't know. But I was so grateful for those experiences, because I think it shaped who I am today. So yeah, it's just a lot.
Absolutely. Woo! And I think, it also led to the, I'm going to kind of group this here, but it led to you being very charismatic. And even things across winning Best Featured Actress. Then also you winning an award for an essay you wrote on being a visionary.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. You had a lot of success in school, a lot of A's, a lot of B's.
Yeah.
And achieved a bachelor's degree in media arts and communications.
I'm still working on that, though. I'm still working. Technically, I would have got it because the financial aid. This was the LIU degree that we were talking about. Yeah, the financial aid had all my stuff all messed up, because then otherwise I would have definitely got my bachelor's 10 years. Oh no, not 10 years. Like 7 years ago. But I'm actually still working on that. But I'm doing it through SUNY now, and I'm actually doing it in the bachelor's master's joint thing versus how I was initially doing it. But yeah, you hit that right in the nail.
You see, I told you, I just use what the internet gives me. Whatever is provided, it's there. And you did that all through. It also said broken friendships, isolation, things of that nature. Those are really hard things to go through. So for you to be able to accomplish all that and still be able to do all these things, that my hat is off to you, because there's not many people who could really withstand all that. Like, you go into it expecting nothing, but it's still time consuming and pressure. Like, you're out there freezing for hours, or you're doing this again and again and again and again. It takes a lot of patience.
Yeah.
A lot of patience. So
It's a lot. It's really based off your dedication and most importantly, determination. Like if you're not determined to do it, it's not going to get done. But if you're determined to do it, it's going to get done when it needs to be done. It's just a matter of timing. But I've definitely always been the type to go for what I wanted, even if I knew it was going to be hard. And despite whatever adversities I had to face going through that, I knew that if I wanted it, and I was determined enough to get it, and I knew it was going to benefit me in the end, I wasn't going to quit until I got it. So I always live, and I still do, live by that philosophy. I always believe that when you are determined to do something, you're never going to quit and never give up, despite how many bad days you have to get through. I mean, even down to my mother's death in 2021. Um, I always thought in the past that if I ever, lost a parent and things like that, I would just give up on everything. So when I lost my mother, it was just the irony that it did the complete opposite for me, and I actually wanted to go 10 times harder than I already was, not just to get my mind off of it, but because it actually it motivated me to go harder, because I knew at that point we don't know how much time we have here on this earth. We got to make the most and do the most based off what we can, and doing it with purpose. And my mom's death, and
God,
not that
I,
it's
I knew you were going to say purpose. I felt it. I said, "Oh, it's coming. It's coming.
yeah, it's true. Yeah, yeah,
Coming."
with purpose. And her death has been like that strong reminder for me, which ironically was when I went back to school, which I still am in right now. And I'm thankful that the impact of her death didn't hinder my success, and it actually caused my success to be where it is now. And yeah, it's definitely one of those bittersweet things. Of course, no one wants to lose a parent, but her death has impacted me in a very, very, very special way, because it's led me to where I am now. And it gave me purpose. It gave me multiple purposes actually, but it definitely is why I'm here now, because it gave me something that it was worth fighting for. So yeah, shout out to that.
Absolutely. You know, I say that because I knew that was coming. That word spends really means a lot to me because the basis of this show is off of that word. I had a friend who died in 2020, Naj Murph.
Yeah, nah, shout out to Ma. I actually got a chance to know him too. He was so cool.
And I remember that like for some reason I always when I tell the story, it's 2012. That year just sticks out of my head. But maybe it was a little earlier. I had like when Facebook like kind of started becoming a thing, I
Yeah.
had posted a suicide status up. And then I was like 30 seconds went by, I deleted it.
Okay.
Phone rings. And then it's him. I'm like, yo, he goes, yo, I seen that. And I was like, man, what you talking about? He goes, nah, bro, don't play me. I seen that. And I was like, I'm like, all right, what's up? He's like, man, he goes, listen, you ain't allowed to take your life. He goes, you haven't fulfilled your purpose yet. Oh,
Yeah.
you haven't found your purpose yet and fulfilled it. He said, I don't know what that is. You don't know what that is. You can find it in a year. You can find it in a week, a year, 5 years, 10 years. And conveniently, about 10 years later, I found it. Um,
Um,
which is like what this show is about. And you're like I said, you're episode 53. you know, 53. That's
I
you
know.
know, I've interviewed Andromeda twice and I've interviewed Remedy Love 3 times.
Yeah.
So you are guest like 49 technically.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's been quite the ride,
Yeah.
quite the ride.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah, that's the basis. So when I said, "Oh, she's gonna say purpose," I know it's coming.
It came.
And I was like, I knew it. I felt it in my blood. It was coming.
Right. Nah, but that like no, because I mean it's true. It's like when you do things with purpose, it kind of guides itself. And then when you, well, I guess if you're lucky enough to find it early, then you do it. But even when you're not able to find it, sometimes it just kind of just guides itself, and it takes an experience, and sometimes, unfortunately, death, to realize what your purpose is. Because you don't, some people, I mean, like, I kind of knew what I wanted to do, but I didn't really know my purpose. Like, I kind of just loved being creative. I just loved it. But why? I don't know. I just loved it. Now I'm like, okay, it's for my family. I love it because it connects people, and it brings a humanitarian side of me. I want to be able to help others. I want to be able to create things like Blame Boss Organization, which I'm actually still building today, actually, to
Okay.
connect to the youth, and let them know that, hey, you could be successful as a creative. You don't have to work a 9 to 5 and just be a doctor or be a lawyer or be a, like a standard job to be somebody. Like, you can make an impact to for whoever you want to be. But at least on the creative side, I can give those resources and be a source or a bridge to connect to where you feel like you best fit, and then lead on from there. So that experience kind of led me to be like, you know what, I think this is what I want to do. At least this is how I want to do it. And that's pretty much my purpose. But yeah, it definitely teaches you a lot, and I'm grateful that I was able to find that. But yeah, it's definitely. Oh no! Wait! Ah!
Oh,
Oh no!
oh Lord, what's going on over there?
Ooh! I should have moved the umbrella on my own. Snap, my bad, y'all. See this chair? Yeah, I was trying to be all fancy, and look what's gonna happen. Umbrella and shoe falling. Oh shoot! All right, I'm back.
I hope when I like
Oh,
when I put up clips later, because I put up clips of episodes,
oh.
and it in the app I use, it picks the clips. I don't do nothing. I just put the video in, hit edit, and then it picks the clips. If it picks that clip, I promise I won't post it, but I'll just
I'll
send it.
post and listen, because there'll be those type of moments that go, you like the girl with the wig, and
She done fell out her chair and during the interview, like she just umbrella fell on her. Like,
oh my god.
actually, those are the moments that go viral. So maybe we'll both be viral.
An interview where the umbrella fell on Vivi and she didn't know what the heck was going on.
She didn't have a clue. She was gone. Like, just like, oh yeah, like yeah. My wife will come on. How the interview go? Went good to my guest hospitalized herself.
Number 53.
53 will be unforgettable. That's for sure.
Shit.
So
It's like
I
Academy.
wanna touch base on your music and try to get into your modeling here. I try to keep these shows an hour and a half or under. That ain't happening today, I guess.
No.
I had one guest on here. We went 3 hours and 20 minutes.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You told me about that. Oh yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah. Me and Gabby. It's my
Wow.
girl too. It's my homie.
Heck yeah. Yeah.
And actually, I had one other thing. I asked GM to come on here, and he told me no. He told me no. He said, "Nah, bro, we got to."
I'm just kidding.
Nah, he wanted an in-person interview. I'm like,
yes. Oh. Okay. Yeah. He's definitely the type to prefer in person. So yeah, I think I remember you telling me that, actually. Now that I think about it.
I'm like, damn.
So then you definitely got to set up that in person, so you gotta get that exclusive with him.
He was like, nah, bro. He was like, nah, bro, and I'm like, damn, no one ain't never told me no. My feelings was kind of hurt, like. And then he was like, I like in person. I'm like, so okay.
Yeah. Yes.
Right. Speaking of which, where did Veve C Live go?
Oh So in short, right? I was doing the testing waters for the season 1 to kind of see where things went, and it went well. I am in the works of doing season 2, but a lot of things has happened when I was going to renew the season 2, which was going to be back in like I think I said February, March, was during the time that I actually started doing a lot of the different hostings through Bags of Motion and doing a lot of that, which kind of re-navigated my time a little bit. So unfortunately, what I was going to be able to do through the Veve live show for that time, I had to keep pushing it back until I realized, okay, you know what? Maybe I'm not ready to introduce season 2 just yet until I get reacclimated, which I feel like not now, but probably by the time I get into the following March, I'll probably be a little bit more steady to bring it back. But it's never left. It's never left. We might do some renovations. I might even get a studio. You know, we definitely in the works of amping up Veve Live. So I'm glad you mentioned that, because that's definitely something that's going to be in its new form. It's just as far as timing goes, I don't have a definitive date just yet. But when we do season 2, you gotta be on it for sure.
Listen, you already know I'm there. You tell me when and where, and I'm on it. I'm there. I'm shit.
It's gonna
I'm
be
there.
a whole vibe. We're gonna get our cup, get our plate. You know, everybody.
Oh,
I want my plate. I want the chicken wing. I want the fries. I want the collard
listen,
and the rice.
I'm gonna give you the true exclusive off the camera of what's going on.
Oh shoot! Okay.
Yeah, you're getting the true exclusive off the camera.
Off the camera. Off the
Yeah.
camera.
Yeah, you're gonna get the true exclusive. Like I gotta tell somebody.
Oh
So
shoot. Oh
yeah, I gotta tell someone. You gonna know.
oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna spill it all of what's about to happen. It's I can't even wait. I yeah, it's about to be legit. Like 2025 is about to start off with a bang.
Oh shoot. Well, we know that.
Home run.
What you about to say?
So your music.
Yeah.
Shout out to your new single. I just listened to it but forgot the name. Pume. Shout out to that upbeat track, straight heat, fire. Makes little.
Oh, I've got that jersey and whatnot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, there it is.
Oh, wait, before you continue that, I have to give a big shout out to my brother. So he goes by, and I keep saying this wrong, so I'm going to try to do this right this time. He goes by Sean Navi. So it's Sean, which is SHAWN space NAVI, which is short for navigation. I think that's why he called himself Sean Navi, because it was kind of like him navigating through life type thing. I think he just did one of those creative things, and
That's smart.
Because before that, it was STC Productions, which was his first middle last name initial.
Okay.
He produces my stuff, so of course that's one of his latest producer hit credit and mix mastered, and he does it all. Oh my goodness, he does it all.
He's sick with the video, sick with the camera,
everything. The beat.
Listen, once that 845 show comes, I'm gonna need. I got one. Veg is gonna be the interviewing media, but then I have two different camera medias I would like to use. But he's more than welcome to come into the fold.
He will love it. Oh my gosh, I might even learn something new with listening to him, because let me tell you something about my brother. That dude is different. Like, we're talking about, how Kanye West is labeled as your genius producer, although maybe a little quirky in some ways. For the most part, he's like one of a kind. My brother is definitely, I wouldn't say he's just like Kanye West as far as the quirky part goes, but he's definitely a unique, talented. That dude's different. I got lucky because I don't even know how it happened. I just know I got lucky because I was like, I need a producer. He just so happened to be the producer I needed. And then he was like, I need an artist. So I'm like, well, where we going?
Well, let's get it going.
the producer. I mean, and it's crazy because even before my brother became the producer, because he started doing the produce. Well, he started doing the like the hits that I worked like that I have out. He's worked on that since he was 13, but I'm sure he definitely made other beats even down to when he was 11. But before he started getting into the producing, I was actually producing my own stuff, using like your mix crafts and your garage bands, Logic Pro, before it became well, FL Studio was kind of like, well, FL Studio is my brother's thing. I kind of dibbled and dabbled FL Studio, but I didn't really use that as much as like your Cubase and all that stuff. But yeah, I was dibbling and dabbling, and I still kind of did. Like, I sometimes I co-produce with my brother on certain tracks, depending on the project. Because I know there's a couple songs that's actually coming out in 2025. One of which, I guess I'll talk about. I'll say it here first because it's not really a surprise. So recently, I was able to link with the Ladies of Sky, which was back in the day called Sky, SKYY. They did songs like "Here's to You," "Let's Celebrate," "Call Me." Everybody knows. Well, the main hit that they had back in the day was "Call Me." They have plenty of other hits too, but those are the three that I could think of on the top of my head.
Okay.
And my dad had an Alpha Gala event not too long ago, this past month, or this month, that they were special guest performers, which they're on tour doing now. And I had the lucky privilege to do a remix to their "Here's to You" song called "Cheers," which again my brother produced. Well, actually that song me and my brother produced, but my brother pretty much composed for the most part the whole thing.
Okay.
And I'm just excited for y'all to hear it because when y'all hear it, it's definitely Jersey influence mixed. So it's giving like disco meets Jersey Cub mixed hip hop trap. Like it's gonna be. I'm hoping it's going to be the takeover 2025. I'm just gonna say it here first. So if it does, Mike, you get the exclusive on the other
You want
platform.
to listen? Yo, people come on here and they be like, I don't want to say. And they be like,
You know.
I'm just gonna say it. Like, listen, I'm with it all. I also have another show called Mike's Music Corner.
Let's go.
I dabble in the music. Yeah, yeah. We do a lot of things. A lot of
Oh,
things. That one's a little more spread out because it's usually needs some projects to talk about to put forth with that.
of course. Yeah, exactly. I'm so here for it though.
You
It's
know?
so much in store. Like 2024, I felt like it's been the foundation for what's about to come for 2025. So I must say, like a lot of good things I feel like are in store. But I'm so grateful for 2024 because I think with how things have been formatted for me for 2024, I've definitely been on the more fortunate end this year. So I am looking forward to see what 2025. I think 2025 is going to be the result of what I formatted myself in for this year. So
Mm,
let's see how things go.
let's get it. Let's get it. So, when did you start taking music seriously and you knew you wanted to make music?
Probably when my brother started producing. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like my first recording hit. I mean, although I did record other sounds, like the cassette tape thing I was telling you about and all that stuff. But when I actually started recording, like where I got music copywritten and then eventually released and all that stuff. What the first hit was "Breeze," which is on my Viviology album that was released in 2021. That my brother fully produced, and when I realized that my brother was producing, when I first heard that sound, I thought it was a YouTube beat. So when my brother was like, "No, I produced it," and I said, "Yeah, okay," and I was like, you're not kidding, right?" He was like, "Yeah, no, I'm not kidding. I can show you." And I was like, "Oh shoot, okay, show me." And he showed me the stems, the whole breakdown, his FL Studio thing, and all of it. And ever since then, I was hooked. I was like, "Oh, I know exactly what to do with this song." And it's crazy because like with me with songwriting, is as songwriters, it's a unique thing because you either can songwrite based off the feel of the beat, or you songwrite based off your experience in hopes that the beat fits within it. And I've always been the type of songwriter to kind of just go with the beat, or go with what it makes me feel. So when I heard "Breeze," the sound of it made me feel calm. And it kind of felt like I was in the breeze, which motivated me to say breeze. I was like, okay, I already know this song is called Breeze because it just reminds me of a breeze. So then when I kind of got the concept, the words with it, like I was kind of just like, like when I write, sometimes I don't know what I'm going to say. I kind of suck at freestyling, but I'm very good at free writing. So for me to get into the process of writing something new, I kind of start off with mumbling a little bit. So I'm kind of like playing around with different flows, and I'm like no 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 no. And I was like, does that fit? I don't know if that fits. Then I'm kind of like, what cadence would go with that? And I'm like, every time that I look at myself, I see myself, I feel myself, I flow, 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 flow. And then after that line, everything else was easy. I don't even know how to explain it, but everything was so easy. Yeah, it was just like Breeze was just one of those songs where I was kind of just able to just vibe and then kind of just had a life of its own. And ever since then, we've just been making songs after songs, hits after hits, and then it kind of just had a life of its own from there. And now what you know now is how it came about. I think that's when I started taking music serious. Well, I've always had a thing for music, but when I say seriously, I mean like recording, like professional recording, copywritten, meaning I went on copyright for the artists out there. Copyright.gov. Don't even try that third party mess. I mean, I wouldn't recommend it. If that's what you've been used to, then stick with what you know. But me personally, I want the real thing. I don't want to be dealing with all these scammers. I'm sick and tired of that iffiness when it comes to things like that. Go with the real deal. It might be more expensive, but trust me, it's worth it in the end. One time fee. Do your copyright.gov so that if somebody tries to steal your stuff, copyright.gov will license it so that it will protect you from getting that stolen, and you don't gotta worry about no one trying to hijack your stuff. And then of course when you do the actual releasing, whether it's DistroKid or United Masters or whatever you're using, TuneCore, which I used to be under before I switched to distro. I think that was probably when I started taking it seriously. Literally, when my brother started producing, or when I heard my brother make Breeze, that's when I started doing it seriously.
What would you say is your message that behind your music, or what message do you want your music to convey to your listeners?
So for I so my music kind of has a versatile feel to it. There's some songs like Breeze and I guess don't I mean there's so many songs that I have certain messages to when it comes down to just never giving up. It kind of more like my experience and kind of just like a lesson learned type of thing, or reflecting back to what I experienced and what I've learned from those experiences. But then there's also other songs where I am talking shit, like Beginning to an End is kind of like a F you, but you know what, I'm standing tall, da 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 da. And then you have just certain songs where just feel good, we're lit, like Pume, we lit. Like there's no message as far as like, um, but I want people to feel good for the music that doesn't really convey a true message, where whether it's like your Jersey Cup hit or hip hop or pop cup, because I got some cup hits coming out soon too, like actual like house. So that's
Okay.
but as far as like the songs I have out now, that's from Viviology and some singles that came out for my upcoming album Reflection Part 1 and 2. I want just people to either be able to see it for what it is, I guess. Like not I want it to be, it's kind of hard to explain because the message I would convey outside of my music is just to be yourself. Don't hold back. Always learn from your lessons, or try to learn as much as you can from your experiences, and don't let that stop you from what you're doing. And really just remember that life is temporary. I always kind of convey that in some of my music, that life is temporary. So just make the most out of it, and really enjoy life, and live in the moment, and really go through the emotions and the experiences that you're going through so that you have something to look back to. And whatever lessons you learn, whether it's an L or a W, you own it and you just keep it pushing type of thing. And I've always conveyed that type of tone or that tonality in the music that I put out in the general aspect. But also, I mean, as far as just like if I were to go based on specific songs, of course, each song has its own convey to it. So
Right.
like Beginning to an End, I'm kind of going more like wow, you did this to me. Well, this is where I'm tired of the beat. I'm not gonna curse. Bull, getting where they fit. And I'm like, I'm talking about how I'm like, I'm tired of these people trying me. And I'm like, I know how this goes. I'm back on my toes. I've seen this before. I'm high to my lows. And I say this for slow to the back of my foes. I don't care. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I just want to say to my supporters, the listeners, just, really take account of what you're going through and make the most out of it. And I always just wanted my sounds to kind of be a when why am I'm wording this wrong. I kind of just want to be a contribution in another element in today's generation of music where you don't have to put yourself in one box, and also be relatable to the people that might be experiencing something similar, or just simply just being you and being in your experience and people seeing it for what you're you know you know I might be wording this wrong, but something like
know
that.
what you're saying. I know what you're conveying.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah. I always just say be you, and just be true to who you are. You don't have to compromise yourself to be somebody that you're not. I would never have a song that would portray that. Um, Even as an actress, I just never really believed in, I mean, unless you literally are being a character outside of you. But I just never believed in acting like somebody that you're not, and like, I'm not gonna be rapping hardcore stuff like, yeah, I got 10 bands in my pocket and I don't have 10 bands. Like, I'm not going to be rapping about Balenciaga unless I'm talking wishful thinking, like, oh, I wish I had Balenciaga. Like, I'm going to get into existence. Like, I'm going to get that Bali, da da da. But I'm not going to say I got 20 bands in my pocket, jewelry's on my chest, I got diamonds on my wrist. I'm that bitch. And I'm going to rep the city in my Tesla car. And I ain't got none of that. Like, and that's no shade to those who do, because that's, like I said, that's another form of creative writing. But
Right.
for, I don't want to convey something that I'm not truly living. And I just always felt like if I rap about something that I either experience or that I want to manifest, or something I'm just kind of just having fun in, that's kind of the lane I like to be in. But music is music, and I just want people to enjoy it. And if you don't enjoy it, that's okay, because I'm still being me. So,
That's all that matters, right? You gotta be unapologetically you.
exactly. And that's the message I would convey to the people.
So I want you to name 6 artists. 3 local artists you would like to collaborate with, and 3 industry artists.
Okay. The industry,
Hip hop,
whatever you say.
R&B, whatever.
Um, would it count if it's those I already started working with? Because I have so many artists I want to work with in general. It's kind of hard. Okay, so I will say this. I have not worked with Ramada yet, and we've been doing events for all these years, and I have yet to do a song. I haven't done a song with Salaya. I would
Yeah,
love to do a song with
I about had it with the 3 y'all.
Salaya.
Not getting this happening.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I've been on Andromeda's behind like white on rice about these 2 collabs, and she like,
Oh,
we gonna do it, and I'm like, listen, y'all better, like, because this is some bullshit. Right on the air.
we said the
This
same thing.
this is some bullshit. Like, I'm about to just drag y'all in a room. Like, if the 3 of you were together at the same time, I'm
Right.
just gonna be like, no, 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 let's go. Come on. Just no. Y'all create the song. Create the song. And then we'll figure out the rest. Get the
But we
song
were
created.
going to, yeah, there were so many different moments we were actually going to do, but then there's always something either coming up, or we had separate events, and then it kind of just had a life of its own. But I've been meaning to work with her a long time ago, and we will, and we definitely will with the right timing. Same with Salaya. I mean, you said 3 artists, so I guess those 2, and I like Remedy too. Remedy Love. I think her music is freaking dope. Locally and even industry, because I know she's doing her thing and she's blowing up. I know some other artists too as well, like Naija Chanel. Shout out to her. I know.
You know how hard it has been to get her to come on this show?
Oh, dang, her too. Dang, now I gotta say Naija, you gotta do it. What she said in person too.
You know how hard it's been to get her on this show?
People,
Like one person's like, just give up. Nah, she coming on this show.
yeah.
Like,
Get on. She'll get on. I know
so
she will. She will.
I just got to go through the channels. I got to go through her management.
Yeah.
That's all that is. That's just respecting the chain of command.
Yeah, like I seen her recently when the DJ, it was a holiday event that happened in Queens. DJ Union I might be saying this wrong. The Union DJs, there we go. The Union DJs, they had all the well, not all of them, but I guess like the main DJs underneath the Union DJs, they hosted a holiday event where they had different artists like Lola Brooke and Papoose, I think was over. Yeah, Papoose was there. My girl Steph G, Lish, and everyone was there, and Breezy Lynn, Deanna Deer. It was like a whole, like everybody was there, and Naisha actually noticed me because it was like a whole crowd of people, and she was like, "V, now we gotta link up because how am I seeing you and we have yet to work? Like this is crazy. It's crazy because the ones I see the most I have not worked with. Like this, like we're gonna get it done. We're gonna get it done for
But
sure.
before you go on, you know what's crazy? So that that same Mavor weekend that I seen you, they did a fashion show on Sunday that you were supposed to host originally.
Yeah, and I
And
think
then you got changed around. So I'm there, and Niasia performed in the middle of that show.
oh nice.
So, but here's where it gets weird. I took pictures of her, whatever, and she said her name. Nothing, nothing of it. Then, literally, like 3 weeks ago, randomly, I'm like going through old pictures, and there's like 30 or 40 pictures of her, and I'm like, "Hey, this son of a bitch!" And how did
Right.
how do you like in that moment? I wasn't thinking of it, and
Yeah.
then I'm just like, this is some bullshit.
Oh, oh.
This is I was mad as hell. I was mad as hell at me that I let all this time go by, and I'm like, this whole time, like I have seen you perform, this is some shit. Like this is some shit. I was mad.
Dang. Well, second chance.
This is some bull. I'm mad.
Oh no.
Now I'm re-mad about it.
Oh no. Yeah, no, we're gonna unmad that. We gotta undo. Undo. Press the undo.
All right, let's go. So all right, what other artists are in the arsenal for you?
Oh man. Okay, local. Well, okay, so the reason why I did not say GM is because we actually are doing a song. And we just finished recording it, and it's going to blow up in 2025 as well. And it's called Taken Off. And it's gonna be again part of my Reflection Part 1 album. And I had the privilege to have him feature on it, and the video's gonna be crazy. So it's gonna be like, I know I keep saying Jersey vibe, but this is gonna be it. Like this is the one. Like DJ Drewski of them, they're gonna sign on this shoe, and it's gonna be big. So I have recently just worked with GM because if we didn't do that, then I would have said GM as well because we had up until we did the Taking Off song. I haven't done anything with him neither. But now that we did, now I can be like, okay, he's something good with him.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be crazy. Like y'all gonna be in for a surprise. I'll just tell you that much. Yeah.
Okay.
There's so many artists in the 845. There's some others I have connected with. Oh man, I'm just blanking out. Like I know, like Captain Tsunami, he's from Middletown. We haven't done a song yet. I know we've been talking about working on one, but we just haven't yet. But I know he had his project out. He's gonna kill me because it was purple. He called it purple something, but I know he recently had his album out and stuff.
Okay.
And it's so many artists. Rose Mariah, I know she's doing her thing. Wow, there's so many artists. Like when you know of so many, you blank out, and it's like, no, I know a whole bunch of them, but I really cannot think right now. It's crazy, but there's a lot of artists. It's like in general, honestly, anybody supportive in the 845 that's doing their thing, even those I'm not familiar with, but I'm sure I came across. I'm down to work. I'm like, let's just do it. Let's do it for the one up, because once everybody blows up and everybody's schedule starts getting messed up, it's a wrap. So let's just do it.
Like at this point, just get it done. Like
Right.
listen. I'm gonna put in I have a request list of artists. So yeah, Andromeda, Solea.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those have to happen.
It's a must, and they know it too. They know.
Like they just have to happen. It's just the right thing to do. And if
Yeah.
it isn't right for you or the rest of the people, it's right for me.
Right.
I'm being selfish right now.
So we gotta do it for you too.
Yes, and that's what we need.
Yeah.
But listen, we got to take a step outside the 845. You need to do a song with Hidden Jewels too.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh no. So me and Hidden Jules, we definitely talked when we were at the Showtime Battle League event. And yeah, we're doing some work soon. We haven't locked in a song yet, but when we
Oh, we froze.
it will be legendary. Trust me. Y'all in. There's a lot of songs that I actually did collaborate with. There's so many of them. Like, y'all gonna find out in 2025. Y'all find out. But Hidden Jewels is definitely on my bucket list. Queen Jewels too is so many. It's so many. Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, and Remedy too, because
Remedy, yep, her too.
yeah,
We're gonna do
yeah
some.
she does her thing. Like I said, she's been on this show 3 times.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
well, not the full episode, but at least I seen clips that when you showed me, and I kind of went in the YouTube frenzy and saw, and I was so proud, so proud. And I
well,
came a long way too. So just watching her story, and the beginning and how she established herself from that situation, and now she is where she is, like, is remarkable. It's crazy.
absolutely. Are there any industry artists you want to name in there?
Oh, so many. So, uh, wow. All right. So obviously it's a way longer list because it's way more that we would know industry wise. But so I always said that I always wanted to have something with Lil Kim. I made that like bucket list. I always wanted something with Missy Elliott. I I always had a dream that I was gonna do a song with Sierra, and it's gonna be called Move. I don't know what exactly it's gonna sound like, but me and Sierra got that little matrix thing going on. And I feel like me and Sierra's styles would kind of fit together, and I feel like we have that futuristic thing going on. So I definitely would like to experiment that with Sierra. Um, Chris Brown, we making hits and gold. So I feel like anything Chris Brown touched would be crazy. So I feel like if he touched one of my hits at this point, like it's life. I know, of course, it's a controversial. I mean, because people still to this day, based off the drama that happened with and Rihanna, like Rihanna's like number one. I know right now she's kind of focused more on the fashion stuff. Obviously, Rihanna would be my number one pick if she were to get back into the music side of things. But yeah, so I would say Chris Brown too, just simply because, for one, I mean, that dude is like, everything he does, like musically it turns gold. Like, I mean, despite how you feel about him personally, that dude is talented. And speaking of talent, I mean, everyone's gonna say Beyonce is wishful thinking if you don't say Beyonce to collaborate, but that's always been on my bucket list. Nicki Minaj, of course, none like having a song with Nicki. But then, of course, I'm conflicted to say Nicki without saying Cardi. And I always wanted to work with Cardi too. Honestly, there's a lot. Like, yeah, it's gonna be one of those situations where I'm gonna be working with pretty much everyone that I could work with. Jada Kiss, the locks. Maybe I should have said that first. Yeah, maybe I should have said that first. Jada Kiss, yeah. Jada Kiss, Busta Rhymes. I met Busta Rhymes before, but I never spoke about the music side of things. So honestly, there's too many to name. I don't know. I mean, if Aaliyah was alive, she would be my number one. But yeah, there's a lot of them.
Yeah, I mean, listen, there's so many artists out there, industry wise and locally, you
Yeah,
know, and like even like like a name like Yellow Pound Cake crosses my mind, you know.
yeah.
And sometimes you can even see where we can go. Like, I love Osmond Benjamin. I love what he's doing and what how he studies his craft. Um, to just the beast lyricist, how he's become. And and it's all about just putting in the time and studying your craft. And you can go anywhere you want to go with your music.
Yeah.
You just got to stay consistent and stay hungry.
Yep. Yep. And don't stop.
Stay hungry, and you just have to keep putting out material. As for reflections, part 1 and 2, I don't know how much you're willing to give away, but I'm going to ask anyway because you brought it up.
Yeah.
So, will this be two separate projects? Um, and if so, how many songs on each one? And when can we expect a possible release?
So the short answer is yes. It is. So it's the so the way that reflection is broken up is kind of unique because it is two separate albums, but then we're also going to do a deluxe album that's going to combine all of the songs into one. So the first part of reflection, which is reflection, I guess numerical number, the I or one, is going to consist of, I think, 15 songs. Of course, I think five. Well, now that we got Pune released, I guess that'll make it. Well, okay, so we have Beginning to an End, Birthday Twin, Con, Pune, and there's one other. Oh, and Up From Here. Those five are released out of the 15 songs that's in total of Reflection 1, which would mean there's 10 songs that are not released yet.
Right.
That would be released with the album. So Pune is actually the last single song that will be released off Reflection 1 before you see the album. I don't have a definitive date, but I am anticipating Reflection 1 to be released sometime in the beginning half of 2025. So anywhere between February and March, I would estimate it, but you'll definitely get an announcement next month on the anticipated date for that. Because we are still working on pushing the single for Pume as well as the Simple Simon song, which is not part of any album, but it is another song that we're pushing out currently because it was released, but we just haven't done any promotional push to it yet because we're still pushing Pume. But those songs are definitely going to be in the focal point next month into February. So then it gives us some time to push out the actual full album of part one between the February to springtime, I would like to say. Now, Reflection 2, no, so before I get to Reflection 2, Reflection 1 is kind of more of your hip hop generated sound based off the aesthetic of my music is kind of more in your hip hop rap category, maybe some unique sounds in between. Jersey, of course, you got some Jersey mix in there, but definitely hip hop influenced. Up From Here kind of got a little bit more of a popish sound to it, but it still falls under your hip hop category. As you get into Reflection 2 gets more on the emotional side of things, so you get a lot more R&B. You're going to get a lot of, well, a lot of pop soul. I don't know if there's a category name for that, but definitely some R&B influence. House, you're gonna get some house, and I mean when I say house, I don't mean Jersey. I mean you're gonna get Jersey sounds from most of my songs anyways because I'm from Jersey. But Reflection 2 is gonna actually have house music, and it's going to have a song that's going to be kind of more on the pop cut side of things, at least in that mainstream like H&M type sounds. You're gonna get a lot more of those sounds in part two, and kind of more your TikTok trend. Well, TikTok even exists by then, but it'll definitely it'll definitely wow it'll definitely fall into that category. And that part of the album we may release it closer to the end of 2025 or the beginning of 2026. We're still trying to figure out if we want part two to be part of the whole deluxe album all for 2025, or if we want to do one album per year and have Reflection 1 have its highlight in 2025 and then do the deluxe and the part two in 2026. So we're still kind of mapping out the logistics of that. But you'll definitely hear some singles from both albums before 2026. Like Reflection like for the whole album of Reflection 1, in some singles and Reflection 2, you're going to definitely hear in the upcoming year 2025. It's just as far as like the day of the album releases go, it's definitely TBA, but you'll definitely be hearing it in the next couple, like by at least next month or two, you'll definitely get more information on that. But I'm definitely excited. As far as the Reflection project goes, it definitely is a project because it's not just an album, is an album deluxe event. It's gonna definitely tell a story from beginning to end, literally, because that's the start of the first song of Reflection 1 is beginning to an end. So it literally is going to be the beginning to the end, where it's going to take you to a whole journey, which is the last song of Reflection 2.
Ooh,
And
okay.
anything in between is going to be a roller coaster. So you're definitely going to be in for a ride as far as the project goes. You're going to see a lot more versatility in my sounds, and a lot more sounds to introduce to the industry. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited.
Okay, okay. So, um,
It's a lot, yeah.
yeah, it's a lot. I think we're gonna save your modeling for our in-person interview.
Yeah, let's do it. Because that's a whole.
Yeah, yeah,
Woo!
that's the way to go. So, what um what upcoming shows or performances do you have where people can see you perform?
So, I will say in short that because I've been doing a lot of events with Bags of Motion as well as my own outside of it. I don't actually have a definitive. Oh, actually, yes, I do. So, Destruct. Shout out to my bro Destruct. He's been one of my day ones. He's actually an artist as well, but he actually has a showcase coming up on January, and I hope I'm getting this right. January 26th, next month, which will be a Saturday.
I want to say it's the 27th. I was
No,
look,
I think 26th was the date. So maybe it's not. He, oof.
looking at it earlier. Could be.
No, no, something about the 26th stood out to me. No, it's definitely the 26th. I just don't remember if that day falls on a Saturday or Sunday. I forgot which day it was. But it's definitely the 26th because I have the flyer. But yeah, he's
Oh, you
having
know
a
why?
show.
Because you got another event here that says December 27th. So that's why I'm getting them confused.
Oh, December 27th.
Yeah, you had another thing here on your page from the
Oh, that's the you're talking about the Cash Cobain hosting.
yes.
That's tomorrow, but that's actually a hosting. I'm not performing that event. That's just us hosting.
I just remember seeing 27. That's
Yeah.
why.
Yeah, that one is the Cash Cobain hosting, but the one for this truck's event is on January 26th in the new year, and he's hosting a showcase, and I will be performing in that one. So that actually is the next performing show that I'm definitely doing. That'll be I forgot what venue it's going to be in, but I know it's probably somewhere in the city. Definitely, I'll definitely be reposting the flyers and stuff. My upcoming events highlights on IG will definitely show the upcoming events. And of course I'll repost and all that good stuff. But and also y'all, if y'all want to check out my social media now, I do have an IG, the real VEVEC, but I always just say Google because ever since I got hacked, it kind of like changed the algorithm of how I showcase my social media. It's just a lot easier to Google me because I'm Googleable.
Google.
And I'm Shazamable too. I checked and saw it. People would be like, "Oh, yeah, you can find my music." Oh, you can find my music. You
I'm Googleable.
have to ask me what it's called because you can Shazam it and it'll tell you.
Oh man, that was perfect.
You know what I'm saying? So, you want to check out my music and all that stuff. All you got to do is type in VVC or VEVE space C, and you'll pop it up, and it should show all the links, the YouTube music, the Spotify, Apple, all that good stuff, and some links and websites. And then I'm sure somewhere in that search, you will see my Instagram too, and all that linkable stuff that, that's savvy and all that good stuff. But yeah. Yeah, there's definitely some. There's gonna be a lot of shows coming up, but that's the one I definitely have confirmed that's coming up that I know. But I'm sure there's probably gonna be some upcoming last minute shows that I'll probably promote if they come up and have y'all get that exclusive. Maybe even some pop up appearances and stuff too. So,
And I'm gonna have to try and make it out to that one on the
oh
20th.
yeah, it's gonna be a movie. So definitely, if you can, definitely pop out.
Plus, see you on the card, Andromeda, Vegas Black, Total
Oh,
Baller,
um,
Baller Brown. Woo, that's my girl.
oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah, she cooked on me at the, she
yeah.
cooked so bad. I was like,
I
I've
can
been trying to
say,
find the video to watch the whole thing.
yeah.
She
Oh my.
cooked it.
Well, the whole thing, I think Showtime posted it on well, he has his channel as well. He definitely posted it because he sent me the link, and I believe it's on his main website. And well, I don't know if it's on Instagram because it's too long, but yeah, he definitely has it up though. I'm sure he does.
Oh yeah, she cooked him. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
she cooked him. She skinned him, seasoned him,
Marinated and
marinated him,
fried
breaded him in breadcrumbs, and deep fried him. Like,
and left
and I
no
knew,
crumb.
like, as soon as he went at attacking her, being like, like a lesbian, I said, "Oh, it's over.
Oh, it was a wrap.
It's
Yeah.
over." Because I said you gave your best shot in the beginning. Now,
Yeah.
he would have just did something else and had some innuendos of it, just kind of going at. And then round three,
What
you
was it?
might have had a shot, but
He said something 45, a Colt 45. That's what he went by, right?
yeah, or
And
Eclipse.
baller B was her.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
crazy.
So I end every episode, as much as I don't want this episode to end, because this ended
But this is just part one because then we got the end.
part one. That's it.
We got layers to this.
So if I end each episode with a positive ending message, it's a message from you to the who's watching this or who might watch this back. That's positive and uplifting. The floor is yours.
So we're gonna recap. So for those who did not tune in earlier in this episode, I just want to say that no matter what you do in life, never give up. Never give up. Times will be hard. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. For some, it may be harder than others. Everyone's journey is different. Everyone's life path is unique to their own needs and purpose and life. And what you do with it is in your full control. I always believe in God, so I say in God's will, but of course not everyone has that belief. So I say in your own terms, um, do what you let me reword this. Always go for what you feel will serve for you and your lifespan of time, because everything in life is temporary and you are living on borrowed time. So you just want to make sure that what you do, you live with no regrets and try to not make as many excuses as possible. Be your true self. You don't need to pretend to be somebody that you're not unless you're doing a movie and you're acting a character that literally is not you. But that's another topic. Obviously, I'm not talking about that. And you just want to just don't be too hard on yourself if things don't go right the first time. Dust yourself off and try again. There'll be many, many trials and errors, many downs before your ups, many falls before your successes. So doesn't mean you failed. It's just you have some trips, but you get back up, you dust yourself off, and you keep it moving, and you learn from those trips, and you experience those trips. Because then when you know how they are, you know how to move accordingly, and you know other avenues that may work that might have not worked when you fell, and you just keep going. You keep going. Don't give up. Be true to who you are. Live life to the fullest and do what you love to do, as long as it's not hurting others and not going to jail for it. And you live authentically and be baddie like VVC.
Well, that was very beautifully said. So, on that note, I want to thank you for coming on here and
Of
bringing your
course.
energy and your finesse. We got to a lot, but not everything, which always leaves room for more.
Exactly. That's why we got parts. We got
So,
parts and parts 2 and parts 3.
so there will be one more episode next week. I don't know if it's Tuesday's New Year's Eve, so might be Thursday. One more episode left to season 1, episode 54. It was a long season, longer than I anticipated. I want to thank you for coming on here, having a conversation with me. Don't sign off yet. Just I want to talk to you backstage. And I want to tell you thank you. I love you. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
And everyone, thank you for your support. Thank you for the growth of this platform. And it's going to be bigger and better in 2025.
That's
Peace
right.
out and good night.
Peace.